Couple of close games for Team USA. Is there something they can learn from the world champion Boston Celtics? Of course there is. We're talking about it right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Thanks to Blockbuster Brand, it's holiday season. Drop Drew in the mix. And 3 from KP, no, we not on the Knicks. Flushing competition like Al on Giannis. Juice and Big Deuce, still Beantown's finest. Banner 18 going up in the rafters. Watch the C's game in Locked On after. Karalis on the breakdown. Clutch like a tip from D. White on the breakdown. John on the mic, documenting domination. Matter pen a back bay, it's all C's nation. Rain and Jay's how it started, raising business, how we finish. Locked On Celtics pod, home of the winners. Peace.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team. Every day, I got you covered Monday through Friday here, these last couple of weeks of July. August comes around, we go to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but, bonus podcasts as maybe Team USA warrants, whatever, if there's Celtics news, whatever, if something comes up, I will drop a podcast for you. So make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcasts. I'm John Karalis. I used to play a long time ago. Now I'm a beat writer covering the Celtics for Boston Sports Journal. I'm also an author. My second book is a commemorative championship retrospective called Built Different. Find it online at booksellers everywhere. And in New England, go to places like Walgreens, go to places like BJ's or Sam's Club. We put the books where people go so you can go find them pretty easily. So hopefully you can pick up a book. I will be offering signed versions on my website soon. So that's coming. And if you've already bought the book, I'm going to get these book plates so you can kind of stick that into your book. So you don't have to buy a second one. I'll do it a different thing. Okay. Anyway, today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Things are slowing down in the sports world, but this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a booster bonus daily. So there's something for everyone all day, every day, all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Let's bring in Tom Westerholm to talk about Team USA and lessons that a team like the United States men's basketball team, comprised of the best players around the NBA, things that they can learn from the world champion Boston Celtics. You ready, Tom? How you doing?
I'm good, man. The world champion. We established this. It's written in stone.
It's written in stone and in fabric, white fabric with green stitching.
Do you think it's written yet?
I feel like it's probably been written. Yeah, it's probably hanging somewhere. Like the banner is. Maybe they if it's not, it should be. It should go around each like executive's house, like the Stanley Cup. You can fly it on a flagpole or something.
Yeah,
or put it in the house. Something to be like, I had that actual banner in my house or as a sail on my yacht.
It'd be tough. It's like the Stanley Cup ends up like with like a lot of like beer in it or whatever it gets in the Stanley Cup. Like the 2018 champion or 2018. 2024, I don't know where that came from. The championship, the banner 18.
Westerholm's in a time warp. I think it's 2018.
Banner 18, I believe.
That's where it came from.
Yeah. But it's got like nacho cheese on it from like somebody's house, and it's got like
Homer Simpson with the Stonecutter's charter, and he's just wiping his mouth with it and not realizing it.
Yeah.
For Simpsons fans who understand that reference, you're the person I do these podcasts for. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be one of those people out there that's just like, oh God, no, I spilled some Kool-Aid. Let me just wipe this up. Oh, damn, it was the championship banner. Like, well,
now there's like a part of the white that's like more white than the other, and it's a problem. Yeah,
someone's like with a Tide stick going, come on. Okay, I think it's coming out. So Team USA is out there doing their thing. They're 5-0 in the friendlies. Let me just start by saying I don't think they put all their, number one effort. I think they're trying things. The lineups are all over the place. I don't know how it's going to go in the Olympics. Well, we'll see. They're probably still going to win gold. They figured out ways to do all this stuff. But I watch them and I say, I don't think they're playing their best basketball. They're super talented. They're winning based on their talent. They're winning based on LeBron James just still being absolutely freaking amazing. The fourth quarter takeover against Germany was just like, it's like he's like letting all the other stars do their thing, and he's like, all right, I'll come bail you out again. He just went nuts in the fourth quarter. We were joking around
and
before.
Started with a massive reverse dunk. He's amazing.
I don't want to go all Reggie Miller because every time LeBron James, like, he wins a jump ball and it's like, he's doing this at 30 now, 40 years old, whatever. Like, okay, Reggie, calm down. But
listen, counterpoint. He is doing this at 39, but like he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. It's just I don't want to like make it just the only analysis of LeBron. But it is funny that when LeBron is on the team that you want to win and he's doing this stuff, you get to sit back and be like, oh damn, he's really good. Like I've always known he was good, but he's especially good. Yeah, I'm sure Celtics fans
got a future in this game.
Yeah, I think this kid is going to be all right. Like why aren't we talking about this guy more?
Nobody talks about LeBron James.
Yeah, no. Like, yeah, if he has a kid out there playing basketball, that kid's probably going to be really good. So, I'm sorry. That was Bronny didn't deserve that straight.
That was a pot shot.
That was a real. I am legitimately like sorry about that. That was bad. I little like that one. Like I just had a little voice in my head said, "John, man, that was uncalled for." So, but look, I still don't think that they're playing their best basketball. I think there are a few things that the Celtics kind of do that won a championship that I actually think can benefit if they just kind of like slipped into this more kind of style of play. It would help them. And because it's a Celtics podcast, we're kind of going into, well, the Celtics do this, so Team USA should do this and whatever. But I think the one thing that stands out to me is, first of all, channeling Joe Mazzulla, the 3-point shooting it's just a little out of whack. Against Germany took 45 3-pointers. They were 13 of 45. Team USA was 6 of 17. And how any team made of NBA players, how any team with Steph Curry and Devin Booker and Anthony Edwards, and not to mention Jayson Tatum, Drew Holiday, and Derek White, how do you only get up 17 3-pointers? I think one thing that I'm looking at Team USA is they just continue to give up open shots on the perimeter and try to drive into the teeth of these defenses with no 3-second rule. Everybody packs the paint. I don't understand why there is this insistence on driving to the rim and trying to finish at the rim. Why can't you just take the 3-pointers that are there? As Joe Mazzulla said, when you give up the good shots, bad things happen. And that's where you see bad things happen for Team USA, turnovers and stuff like that.
Yeah, you see the turnovers and I think another Mazzulla piece of, of truism, another Mazzulla truism is like when you miss an easy basket, it's devastating on the other end. Always.
It's like a turnover. It's like a turnover.
It's really a lot like a turnover, like a live ball turnover, and just the worst kind. But yeah, I think it's a few things. I think one thing, and this actually speaks to the Celtics as a team, right? The commitment to doing the right thing. It's not. I think a lot of these guys are so skilled and just talented that there's probably a fair amount of temptation to because every guy on this team is facing a mismatch every time he gets the ball, right? And so of course, these are the best players in the world. You see a mismatch and you're like, oh, I'm going to attack this guy, right? And I'm going to go at him because that'll for sure work. And ordinarily in the NBA, it's a good move. But to your point, the paint's packed, there's they haven't punished teams with 3-pointers yet. They certainly didn't today. Even Steph Curry, I think, what was he 1 for 7, 1 for 8 or something like that? He missed a bunch of threes.
Yeah, 1 for 7.
So I mean, they're also when they take them, they're not exactly hitting them either. But But a big part of that to me is the conversation we had about the Celtics, where this year they were generating threes as opposed to just hoisting them. And I don't know that this team is like doing that really. So like to me, I think it's almost the Team USA is almost getting in their own way a little bit, where it's like, you're so talented and like there's no question about it. Like, you are the best players in the world and everybody agrees. And but the best way to stop them so far is to, clog things up and make it messy. And that just complicates things. So I think to some extent, it's a little bit guys who are so talented that they're getting in their own way.
Yeah, no, I think not only the guys that are talented getting in their own way, it's the other guys who are talented saying, okay, it's your turn. I'm going to sit here and watch.
Sure.
And this is part of the, why aren't you taking the 3-pointers? Well, why don't more guys present themselves to take the 3-pointers? Let's continue this, basically channeling Joe Mazzulla. Mazzulla ball is the way to go. And why aren't you playing
so Mazzulla pilled? It's disgusting.
It is. But you know what? It just won a championship.
Just want to
right. He's right. He's right. Yeah. And you get to have this moment when you're Joe Mazzulla. Team USA, play more like Joe Mazzulla wants you to. Oh, we'll continue that conversation in just a second. Today's show is brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. That is the formula for winning a championship. It's also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. That's what we're talking about on the show. Leveling up to peak performance. eBay can do it with superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. And with over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you will always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or you get your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out Locked On Sports today. Make that your second listen. It's streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the Amazon free Fire TV channels app. Real talk, real local experts, the big stories, the biggest stories, and no fake arguing like you find so many other places. It's Locked On Sports today, only on the Locked On Podcast Network. So go check that out. Let's get back to this conversation here, because yes, we are Mazzulla pilled. We are, but the thing is, when you're proven right, when Joe makes the point that you're gonna have trouble winning games against South Sudan, against Germany, you got two ends of the spectrum. South Sudan was 1,000-to-1 shot to win gold before that game. Now the odds changed because people are, losing their minds and putting their money there. Hey, whatever. But point is, they took a bunch of 3-pointers. They had the shooting variance game. That's how you win these games. That's how teams that are underdogs win these games against the good teams. And when Germany puts up 45 3-pointers, okay, they only hit 29% of them. If they had hit a normal percentage, a good percentage, they would have won this game. And the United States only put up 10. They were 5 of 10 on 3-pointers that were not Steph Curry 3-pointers. So you look at it and say, oh, they only shot 35%. Well, Steph had a bad night. He shot 14%. Everyone else shot 50%. They were making them. That's where you step up and take them. And guys who, I guess, there's so much standing around. This is where, like, the Celtics, the ball movement is kind of like the blueprint here. And this is why I like Derek White on the team. I want to see more Derek White. I don't think Devin Booker should start. I think Derek White should start. Get a real point guard, another real point guard out there with Drew Holiday. Just start that backcourt. And I know he probably wants maybe more defense out there more often, but start that backcourt and have those two guys moving the ball. 2 ball movers with LeBron and Curry and Joel Embiid is starting. That's another one. He should not be starting. He just slows things down. He had his best game against Germany, but I don't care. I'm not the only one saying it. This is not John Karalis certified, Embiid hater.
You are, but this is not that. Yes.
This is not that, right?
Yeah.
I'm being fair. Being fair. He had his best game against Germany. I would definitely skew towards the negative side whenever there's a choice to be made, but it's in 5 games here.
You're taking the opportunity that is presented to you, but the opportunity is being presented to you to skew negative on Joel Embiid.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because I just don't think that it's not the right fit. The lineups with Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis are so good. They're doing my God, so good. Why not run
monstrous duo, by the way?
Oh my God. Like all the Heat fans and the Lakers fans are looking, they're in their little groups going, can we get this other guy?
Yeah, right.
This is amazing. How do we get this other guy?
Yeah.
But I think if they move more and present themselves and just say, when you get a good look from 3, just take it. And then you can attack after you've set them up with the 3-point shot. You cannot just give up the 3-point looks, because you put yourself in this position. If the United States had taken 33 pointers, they would have won this game by 20.
Yeah. I think a big part of it too is like when you take threes that are presented to you, like kind of not like quickly, but like within the flow of the offense. But when it's presented to you, go for it. You pick up the pace a little bit. And what better way to give yourself a better chance to win when you have this much talent than to create more possessions, right? Like, more possessions is good when you have this obscene roster. And I think that's part of it too. And that's part of what you're talking about, right? When you talk about the game, like guys kind of like going one-on-one, driving into the teeth of the defense, that clogs things up. That slows things down. That's not what you want. And that's the Embiid problem too, right? It's like Embiid is not a transition player. Like Bam can be a transition player. Anthony Davis can for sure be a transition player. Like these guys, pretty much everybody else on this team can fly up and down the floor if they want to. I think your point about Devin Booker is an interesting one, because he's another guy where it's like, the style that he likes to play with is kind of like, it's not exactly it. And I think it's tough with White and Holiday, because these guys are like, they're awesome glue guys, awesome, fill in the crack kind of guys, but like, they're not like stars on the level of a lot of these other players. But at the same time, it's like, hey, honestly, the Celtics had 2 genuine stars on their team. And a lot of the time, their offense, to your point about like lessons Team USA can learn from the Celtics, like the Celtics offense, a lot of the time was at its absolute best when it was being like started and created by Derek White and Drew Holiday. And then everybody else plays off them. And then like, like, I don't know whether you're LeBron James rolling to the hoop, or whether you're, like whoever, Anthony Davis, pick and roll, whatever it is. Like, there's so many options that can flow off of your point guard being a guy who's a distributor and who just kind of like gets things moving in the right direction. And that, I think, is something that I don't really anticipate happening, but I think would probably help this team a bit. Would just kind of like the guy who starts with the ball can move it, and then it can flow off of that. That's fairly basic basketball 101 here.
Look at what the Celtics are, aside from like, they're the champs, but the Celtics are the closest NBA thing to a Team USA, at least starting 5. You've got, first of all, you've got 3 members of your starting 5 on Team USA, but
you got one guy who wasn't on it because he kept cutting the Nike logo off his shoes. And
right. So you've got one guy who should have been on there. So 4 of your 5, in fact, the 4 Americans in your starting 5 should have been, all 4 of them should have been on Team USA.
Yeah.
And the 5th, Kristaps Porzingis, if he was healthy, would have been on a Latvian team that he might have gotten into the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
So you might have had 5 Olympics participants on that same team. So there is validity. This is not just, the Celtics won a championship and let's just make this comparison. There's actual talent here. And the thing with the Celtics is Tatum and Brown still cooked, but they took their steps back and the ball moved, and everybody they took their shots when they were there. And the guys who start the offense, maybe they took the shot after four or five passes. Maybe you start a different way. Maybe those guys are pick setters and then they pop free. All these different things are part of the lesson that move the ball. Don't just stand around. Take those the first good looks that you get. Don't pass up on the open 3-pointers if you're a decent 3-point shooter, because that's going to be how you pile up the points. And when you're given the opportunity to crash with the long rebounds, who better than on a team coached by Joe Mazzulla than Derek White and Drew Holiday to be the guys crashing from the corners, crashing to the nail for the long rebounds, which they do often and very well. They know how to rebound on those teams that shoot a lot of 3-pointers. It just makes sense to, I guess the whole point of this podcast is, why aren't you shooting more? I guess that's what it boils down to. Don't play Embiid as much, and why aren't you shooting more? And why aren't you moving the ball?
Yeah, I think the point of this podcast is Steve Kerr on the hot seat, Joe Mazzulla coming in.
Wow. Talk about, if there's ever a coach who knows how to hop in under weird circumstances, Joe Mazzulla's the guy. Joe's the guy. So you stick him in there 3 days before an Olympic run. He'll know what to do.
You got to do it. I think you got to do it.
Let's continue this conversation in just a second. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. We all love sports, and we don't like to see sports slow down. So that's okay, though, because FanDuel is hooking up everybody, all customers, with a boost or a bonus daily. So there's something for everybody all day long. Head on over to FanDuel.com to get yourself started. In fact, I'm going to open up the FanDuel app right here on my phone and check out the odds for Team USA. In fact, the United States team minus 400 to win the gold medal, followed by Canada plus 1,000, France plus 1,500, Serbia plus 1,500, and Germany, who almost pulled it off against Team USA, plus 2,500. So obviously USA is the runaway favorites, but hey, maybe you want to go for an underdog. Maybe you've seen something with Team USA that you're like, you know what? I'm going somewhere else. So go ahead, head on over to FanDuel. Throw some money down if you want. Use the tools that are available over at FanDuel to set your limits, set your budget, so you can go gamble responsibly. Have some fun. Use your disposable income to throw a few bucks down somewhere, and maybe you come up through. You're getting these booster bonus daily, so you know there's something for everyone all summer long. So head on over to FanDuel. It's the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out Locked On NBA. Make that your second listen. I'm hosting on Wednesdays with Jake Madison. Let's have some fun over there. Me and Jake, we have a great time. So check us out. Rotating hosts all week long, so you get different perspectives on the league. 5 days a week, all summer long. So plenty of podcasts. Locked On Podcast Network has you covered with all kinds of podcasting. So go check out Locked On NBA. Okay, so yeah, Steve Kerr, I think one of the things is flexibility with the lineups. And I don't know if the way he's been doing it with a first unit and a strict second unit, if that's just going to be something that he's going to carry into the Olympics. Maybe his starting five, which has been Booker, LeBron. Wait, I have it over here. Booker, LeBron, Embiid, Holiday, and Curry. Again, I'm not a fan of Embiid starting or playing. And we haven't even seen Kevin Durant, by the way. We have not seen Kevin Durant. So we may have Durant step in for either Booker, probably Booker, which makes the other lineups interesting. I would love to see the three Celtics together. Why not go for three guys if you need three guys who know how to play together? Why not have
three Celtics, Bam, and AD?
That would be amazing.
Tough.
That would be amazing. And look, no risk to the Lakers or the Heat because the Celtics are stuck in second apron hell. They can't recruit those guys. All the Celtics are locked up long term. There's no tampering of possible here. It's just a weird mix. That weird mix of Celtics, Lakers, and Heat fans all on the same page.
United.
A few minutes a game. You know, that meme, the Rocky Apollo arms, the muscular arms locked together meme. That would be fun.
Or it's that picture of gang members tying their bandanas together, except it's tying championship banners together, and they're all
there you go. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I'd love to see that lineup. And why not? You know, those three guys can work together on the perimeter. You got an unbelievable defensive duo, and very easy to work with Davis and Bam. Holiday has worked well with them. White has already worked well with them. Like, White's been throwing alley-oops to these guys like he's been doing it all year long. Like, it's really been fun to watch. Let's see some of that. Yeah,
I'm fully on board. I think the KD thing is really interesting because like there's two elements to this, right? Where one, he is another guy who can totally go ISO, right? Like that's well within his bag. But also he's a guy who played on a admittedly not that successful, but like sort of super team this year, right? Where he had like other ball dominant stars alongside him a lot of the year. Like he's coming off a season where he kind of got used to doing that a little bit. So I think there's some interesting stuff there. But yeah, I think three Celtics together would be fun, but also like the continuity aspect of it. I mean, you know, these guys are obviously the talent, they should be able to do whatever they want, whenever they want. But like, there is something to be said for, you know, having little guys who know how to play together like that. I mean, and I don't know. I don't know how often we can keep coming back to just like, wow, Derek White is awesome. But Derek White is just awesome. Like he will fit on any basketball court with any basketball team and just elevate them. Like I think I know that they have a Celtic in the starting lineup right now, and it's like I kind of feel like might be the wrong one. Like Derek White does a lot, you know. Like, and that's no disrespect to Drew Holiday. That's just like Derek White is the ultimate like just make everybody, you know, change everybody. Like if somebody in your lineup is a B-, Derek White will turn them into a B+ very quickly. And like that's so. I mean, on a team like with all A's, you know, if Derek White comes in and turns everybody into an A+, that's.
Yeah, more Derek White again. Yeah. What did Joe Mazzulla do between the prior season and in this past season? He went to Derek White and said, "You're my starter. I believe in you." And he said that confidence just, you know, was incredible. Derek White literally said, "I will do anything for Joe Mazzulla." Yeah. And so obviously we shouldn't have been surprised that he signed the extension rather than went into free agency. He's like, "I want to play in Boston. I want to play for this guy. I love this guy." So why not use him more like he's been used on the Celtics? And as your starter, I do think he's at this point definitely more dynamic as a point guard. And it gets Curry off the ball. So and you still have the Holiday defensive dynamic. You just have it coming off the bench.
Right.
I agree. I think White as a starter makes sense. I think they're just going to give it to Holiday just out of deference. He's been there. He's won a gold.
Right.
And it's not going to matter probably because
matter.
more than anything, it's not even the lineup mix. It's more style of play. I just want to see less stagnation. I want to see less standing and more passing. I want to see a guy like Anthony Edwards, who I thought was kind of joking about being the number one option, but he was dead serious about, hey, everybody's going to have to fit around me. Dude, you can pass the ball a couple of times a game. You can actually give the ball up. It's okay. But yeah, that's the, you know, more of what I want to see. And
yeah,
as much as I'm saying shoot the three a lot more, it has been fun to see Tatum actually get to the rim and go against single coverage and actually get all the way to the rim and have some nice finishes. But maybe Tatum shouldn't be shooting the 3-pointers because he's kind of forgotten how to shoot for some reason.
Yeah, there was a clip floating around Twitter of him shooting in the bubble, and it was just like, oh yeah, that was like most of his thing at one time was just these sidestep threes, and when they started going in, it was like, oh my gosh, this guy's unstoppable. And then when they were, it was kind of ugly, and that was a very, very different time. But yeah, I mean, he's a couple. I know we just got done. Yeah, like you said, we just got done saying everybody should shoot more threes. There were a couple Tatum drives today that were just gorgeous.
They were. I think we're just so used to seeing Tatum get bottled up and cut off and have to make the pass that as much as I do not like, I'm not backtracking off of what I said, but just for the aesthetic purposes of seeing Tatum being able to get to the rim more often, you're like, oh, this is what it looks like with single coverage. This is what it looks like when you're not seeing 2-3 people, specifically a defense specifically designed to keep Tatum from doing these things. I like to see it just because, like, oh yeah, he is capable of this, and I just like to be reminded that he's capable of this. But yeah, he needs to figure out the 3-point shooting as well. Shoot more threes, Team USA. Just go shoot more threes. And that'll be because look, 18 of 23 from the line. They're not getting to the free throw line. It's not generating like a bunch of efficient scoring anywhere. They need to take and make those threes. And again, non-Curry 50%. Why not? And LeBron hit a couple late. So, that was part of his takeover. Embiid hit his, I think, late as part of a transition opportunity. So there are, it was more of a later thing. Holiday hit his early. I just want to see more of it. That's all.
Yeah.
Those are lessons. Those are lessons that they can learn.
As an aside, you and I talked about this briefly before we started recording, but I did want to say on the pod that it is so freaking cool that LeBron James is like there's very little that makes me go like USA, but like LeBron James being like the flag bearer for that's so cool.
Yeah,
like
it is cool.
That's awesome.
It is cool.
Very, very cool. A cool moment for basketball. I don't know.
Yeah,
well earned and everything, but just a cool moment for basketball.
I'm gonna be honest here, and this might turn off some Celtics fans, but I wasn't joking before. Like when you're watching a game where LeBron is doing things to your team, to the team that you're watching and covering and all that stuff, it's always like in a negative light, like, oh man, I can't believe he's doing that. And you got to stop that. You can't let him do that. When you're watching a team and the analysis is like the stuff he's doing is good, it just adds an element of like, wow. Just, you can appreciate it. Just that one extra tick. I think we can all turn off the LeBron hate filter just for a couple of weeks as they're going for gold. And just, I think you can kind of have that appreciation. It's funny. Jay King actually tweeted us, I can't believe they're wasting this guy next to D'Angelo Russell and Taurean Prince. You know what I mean? Like,
it was, that was a good tweet. That was
it's true. It's 100% true.
I mean, and like some of that is obviously his doing too, but like, man,
sure. Yeah, of course.
Brutal.
But it is brutal. But for a couple of weeks in July and August, you just get to appreciate like, wow, this guy, he is still doing it. He is.
Yeah.
We'll just wrap it up full circle, Reggie Miller style. He's still doing it at this age.
Doing it at 39.
Still. Like, and it's not, he's not what he used to be, but he's so much better as a basketball player than I think he was obviously awesome, but I think he was relying on some of that athleticism and brute strength. Now, yeah, he's biding his time on the court sometimes a little bit. The defense isn't quite what it used to be, and he's relying on jumpers more. He can't get to the rim quite as much as he used to at the NBA level, but every once in a while, he just whips off these moves. He has a fourth quarter where he's like, okay, I got a good 7 minutes for you. And it's like, wow. This is fun to watch. All right. Well, those are the lessons that they can learn from Team USA. And the lesson here is more podcasts with Tom Westerholm.
Hey.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Tom.
Appreciate you, man.
And I always appreciate you, the listener, the watcher, the commenter on the YouTube page. Let us know what you think. Give us your take on Team USA and the Boston Celtics. The Celtics are a huge part of Team USA, so it's something that we're going to keep an eye on as the Olympics run continues on. So subscribe. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about whatever comes up in the Celtics world. Some maybe looks back on the championship run, because it's never a bad thing to go back and appreciate what the Celtics did before we have to turn the page. The Celtics will have to turn the page at some point. We do not have to until training camp. So subscribe wherever you get your podcast, watch the show on YouTube, get into that comment section, and then share the podcast. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.